Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live, recorded because this is not live. This is recorded. This is the 6th episode where I go through my eBay watch list, ended items. So let's just jump in, get right to it. Here we go. First card of the week. This card it's a beautiful card. Team Solani, the Cup base patch auto variation / parallel. This card was being offered on eBay via ComC, but the actual seller was Daniel Vincent, somebody who's well known on the Twitterverse. And I had reached out to him. He was kind of letting me know what he'd let it go for. And I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. I like the card. I like the patch. The image of Timu's a little light, so I didn't grab it. And then next thing I knew, it was out of stock. It had sold and it showed up on my ended watch list. And it's okay. I'm okay with it. I may snag another copy later if the price is right for me. All right. Didn't grab it. So be it. We've seen one of these already. I think we looked at one last week or the week before. This is the Game Data Moments. This is the card that features both Connor Bedard and Connor McDavid. And I'd mentioned that, there's another card that came out in Upper Deck a while ago. It's a canvas with McDavid and Crosby, and it's one of these overhead type shots. I thought a cool card to kind of, passing the torch. Anyway, this PSA 10 version sells for $138 here via ComC on eBay. And then I looked into it. This card is actually not numbered, but limited to 1199. It says it right there. It's hard to see, not serially numbered. I went and looked at the population report on PSA, and I found here, it's card number 34. There's 98 PSA 10, so not a ton, but there's a few there. A super high gem rate, over 90% it looks like. But then I discovered, check it out, there's a gold version, 19 PSA 10s of 22 submitted. I checked out some sold listings on eBay. These are selling for about $950 US, whereas this is selling for about $132, as we saw right over here. So, or $138. I don't know what to do now. I don't want to have this one if I know there's a better one out there. And the gold one is actually numbered out of 100, not numbered, limited to 100, but not serialized. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Do I want to spend $950 on a gold copy of this? It's not a pack pulled card. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So I'll just wait and see. Next up, guys. Listen, Steve Yzerman, one of my all-time favorite players. I love collecting his auto patches, and I'm big into these dual auto patches now from the Cup. Although I'm not gonna limit myself to the Cup. Opeachy Premier had some nice ones back in the day. In any event, also features Igor Larionov, a Hall of Famer, one of the best Russian players of all time. Nice two-color patches on both. Sells for $412 Canadian. I was watching it again. It's one of these cards I put on my watch list. I wait until it ends, and if it's in the price range I want, if I'm feeling spendy, maybe I buy it. I didn't buy this card, but it was interesting to see, and I think $412 Canadian's a fair price on it. Next up, guys, listen, these ingrained complete stick signatures I think are just beautiful cards. And Joe Thornton, I think he's an underrated NHLer. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. I think he's underrated in the hobby. And this is just a great card. You've got a piece of stick handle over here. You got a piece of tape over here and a nice colorful piece of the stick right over here. Sells for $146 USD. Again, I did not buy it, but a lot of the times it just depends on my mood. When the card is ending, do I feel like spending $150 on a card? And I guess I didn't on this one, but nice card. Complete sticks are just beautiful in my opinion. All right, this one's interesting, guys. This is a 2008-9 The Cup limited logos of Evgeny Malkin. A great autograph, by the way. Look at that autograph. 50 copies produced. The patch is the 250 patch. I forget what that commemorates, but in any event, this is a patch that I could see people saying, well, this could be a fake patch, a replaced patch. I can tell you guys definitively it is not. I was at the Cup Packout this year in North Carolina with Upper Deck, and now these cards may have been redemptions, so I forget if I actually saw them there or I saw them after, but I am like 99% certain that this is not a fake patch card. It is real, and I was following patches so closely back then. I even had a website called Fake Patch Report to cover and really publicize where there were fake patches. I just couldn't keep up with it, and I tanked it a while ago. I mean, like over 15 years ago. All right. You guys know I really like these Topps Chrome Platinum Superfractors. Cal Ripken Jr. We saw some last week. Cal sells for $2,250 USD. Great card. You know, I love Cal Ripken. We also had a Jackie Robinson. They're asking 15 grand Canadian on this card. It did not sell. It has been relisted. It's relisted again for 15,000. I don't think it's going to sell for close to that. Maybe it's a $4,000 card if Cal sells for, if Cal here sells for 2250 US, what's Jackie worth? 3 grand, 4 grand, 2 grand? I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe we'll track this one long enough. Eventually we will see it sell. And then there's the Pee Wee Reese, guys. The Pee Wee Reese, I believe it's sold. So as you can see, it sold, but they accepted a best offer. I think it was 350 US that this sold for. I did look it up earlier and I just forgot to add the tab to the video here today, but this sold for, I think, 350 USD. And if I could go back, I would have paid that because I love Pee Wee Reese. And I kind of wish I bought this card. I would have paid a bit more, but you know, oftentimes I will put buy it now or best offer cards on my watch list. And I will think, well, I'm going to think about it when it gets closer up to the cards that are going to end that day. I make a decision. Do I want to put in the best offer? And that does work against me a lot because someone else is a little bit quicker, maybe a little bit savvier. They make an offer, it gets accepted. I go see what it sold for. I'm like, damn, I should have put in an offer earlier. So I'm kind of a little bit upset with myself for not trying to win this card because it would have been a great card for my collection. I'm just a big Pee Wee Reese fan. All right, let's keep on rolling here, guys. We've got the Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb sells for $903 US. So if Cal Ripken sells for $2,250, Ty Cobb gets $903. I can't explain why that is, but I think that $903 is really fair for that card. Ty Cobb, he's a legend, absolutely. All right, guys, moving on. Connor McDavid. Now, I don't know what's going on with his cards right now. Are they tanking? I don't think they're tanking, guys. I really don't think they're tanking. I think that now you might be able to buy him at a little bit of value. I also think that he had a Stanley Cup built into his prices already. But then perhaps what happens is it's built in for so long, we just forget about it. And then maybe he wins the cup and they go up. He didn't win the cup. So do they go down? Well, we're going to see a couple other cards. This is the emblems of endorsement. It's graded a 10. The auto gets an 8, which is just stupid. I mean, look at that auto. Like, stop grading autos. So ridiculous. In any event, this emblems of endorsement sells for $18.75. Now, if there was orange in there on either of those patches, it would have sold for a bit more. Also, if he won the cup, it would have sold for more. I have to think it would have sold for more. So are his cards tanking now, or are they going to stay level with where they were? I'm not sure what the right answer is for that, but time will tell. This is an interesting card, guys. You can buy a Patrick Waugh autograph numbered out of 50, let's say, every day on eBay for what? You can probably pick one up for $150 to $300 in that range, depending on the card. But if you make the card an SP Signature Legends all-time Future Watch auto, it sells for $1,694 US. So it just goes to show that a really cool set that doesn't come around all the time can really elevate the value of a player's autograph. All right, Sidney Crosby, Future Watch Auto, BGS 9.5 out of 999, sells for 7,700 Canadian on Slab Sharks on eBay here. I really like this copy because the autograph, look at the S in Sidney, the bottom part right over here, it starts all the way down here. Several of these copies, he starts it up over here. And we'll see if we can see one later, but it's a distinction not many people know about. I think it's important, so keep your eyes on if you're looking for this. $7,700. Let's look at Card Ladder and see what's been going on with this card. So this is the card right here. This sold on June 27th. This 5622 is the 7,700 Canadian. The one before it here, a True Gem, sells for $6,000 just 10 days earlier. So, a reduction of about $380 right there. 5917 over here, right close to the 6,000. This sold back in January. Another in January. This one only did 4523. Let's have a quick look if we can see that card. And this is an example of where, look at the S here. Look at how it starts down here. It doesn't start down here. I don't know if that has anything to do with that price or not. But I guess the point is that Crosby seems to be holding pretty steady in value, at least on this Future Watch Auto BGS 9.5. Between say 4,500 here up to about 6,000. The most recent one selling for 5,622. So I'm seeing Crosby holding steady across the board right there right now. All right. Here's another Crosby, guys. This is the property of. These are like bat barrels in baseball. Property ofs are taken right off the stick, the player's name off the stick. Upper Deck cuts it out, puts it in a card, makes it a 1 of 1. Now, these were in the cup for several years, going back as far as I think maybe 2006, the first ones came out. And you can see they were coming out in the cup until at least 2015. I'm not sure if they came out after that or not. But nowadays, since they introduced their ingrained product, which is a stick-driven product, they've moved these property ofs into ingrained. You can't get them in the cup anymore, at least not right now, or we haven't seen them in the last couple of years. And this is a great card, guys. It sells for $5,775 Canadian. I love it. It's a PSA 8. Just a beautiful card. I love property ofs are so cool. Here's a McDavid Cup Gold RPA. This is numbered out of 12. It is graded or slabbed authentic. The autograph gets a 10, and it sells for $69,720 Canadian. So let's see how that fares versus other recent sales of this card. And here we have them right here. I'm looking at Card Ladder. This is the sale that we are looking at right now. So we're going to convert now back from 69,000 Canadian to 50,000 USD. That's this card we're looking at. Before that, March 21st. This one is not graded, but again, this one's it's not graded either. It's simply slabbed authentic. This one sold for 69,000 in March. And before that in December, 84,000 for a raw copy. And before that, back in 2018, 39,000. Only 12 copies. All 4 of these copies are different. We go again, 40 grand back in 2018 before the pandemic. It gets bumped up. This is 6 months ago here, guys, 84,000. So what happened? Why did it go from 84,000 to 69,000 to 51,000? Are his cards tanking now that he did not win the Stanley Cup? Even 60,000 down to 50, that's a $20,000 drop. Are his cards tanking because he didn't win the Cup? Are people funneling their money into Connor Bedard? Are they looking for a more stable Sidney Crosby? I don't know the answers to these guys, but just be aware that this particular high-end, super high-end McDavid card is sort of tanking right now. 84 down to 69 down to 50. Does that mean there's opportunity? I do think he's going to win a cup in the future. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, there's a pair of cards here that were on my watch list. They're both offered by channel partner MC Sports Cards. We have a Jerry West dual patch autograph out of 44 from Exquisite, and we have a Magic Johnson. What a gorgeous card. What a gorgeous card. Nice 3-color patch on card auto. These cards ended without being sold. I'm guessing that MC Sports Cards sold them privately, or they're going to go into one of their next auctions, one of these things. I'm not sure what they're doing with these cards, but I was watching because I'd love to add a card like this. I don't have any basketball auto patches, and I've always thought I should get myself a Magic Johnson, a Larry Bird, a Julius Erving, some of these guys from the 70s and the 80s, and even like a Wilt, they're out there. I'd love to get them. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet, but eventually, when I'm in that spending mood, I think I'm going to add a card like this, and I think Immaculate is just beautiful. What a gorgeous looking card. Is it game used? What does it say here? Yeah. Include the enclosed game-worn material and auto are guaranteed. So hopefully by game used, they mean used by Magic Johnson and not some other player. And the Jerry West, I think, is also game used by Jerry West. Has been, used in an NBA game. Pretty cool stuff. Love to add a couple of those. And of course, recently deceased Jerry West. Pavel Bure, guys, one of the hottest players in the hobby, has been for a while. This is a nice card. This is a very old auto patch, 2001. This is vintage auto patch kind of stuff right here. Nice 3-color patch right here. I've owned a copy of this card in the past. I've sold it. Would I get another one? Maybe. I was looking at this thinking maybe I would purchase it, and I just didn't. And I kind of should have for $162. But look at the auto. Super bright blue. No fading going on there. Really nice. And this is a nostalgic patch card. Early SP game used auto patch. $162. Pavel Bure. All right. Now, this one I was struggling with. This is a card that I was contemplating purchasing since it was listed. I was even contemplating purchasing it from House of Cards on Instagram before he sent it to Volume Accumulation to sell it through their consignment service. And I was struggling, guys. I love tribute auto patches. And I have two others from this set. I think I have, as far as hockey goes, I think I have the two most important ones. I'll show you quickly here. I've got the Mario Lemieux. I'll just do the quick spotlight thing here. I've got the Mario Lemieux. It's in a BGS 9 holder. I'm probably going to crack it. I don't need my tributes in slabs, but I'm not going to do that right away. We'll see. Anyway, I got the Mario Lemieux. It looks two color. There's a bit of black up in that top corner. It's there, but it's if anything, it's the ultra weak 3 color, but a nice 2 color. And then I've got one of the best cards in my whole collection is the Wayne Gretzky. So I thought, maybe I'd add this Patrick Waugh to the collection and have the 3 of them. But the problem with this card is that, like, it's a great looking card, but he's pictured in his Montreal Canadiens uniform here with a great helmet, but that's a Colorado Avalanche patch. I don't want that inconsistency when it comes to my 2003 exquisite tribute collection. That would have been the 3rd one had I bought it. But for $1,000 US, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna draw the line. And for now, I'm not going to pick one up. Maybe I will later. We will see. And you're about to see with the next card how I sort of contradict myself. So let's take a look at that. This card right here, guys. This is the same thing. This was also a House of Cards card that he sold through Volume on eBay, and he had shown it on Instagram. It sells for $787. But guess what? I sold this card myself several months ago through Slab Sharks, and he bought it, had it graded by SGC. So let's see what happened there. He sells it first. He gets $787 for it. This is my card that I sold. I sold it raw. This is the same card, guys. Same card. $787 here. When I had it, I sold it back in November 23rd, 2023 on Slab Sharks and get $746.34. That's what it sold for. $746 US. House of Cards buys it, grades it, and sells for $787. So $787 down to $746. That's a $41 gain to get the card graded by SGC. I don't know, minus the fees that he's going to pay Volume, he probably lost money on this card. There was really no point in grading it. And it only ended up grading an 8 anyway. So I wanted to see what happened there. I wasn't going to buy it. And I actually have seen the reason why I sold it was I was hoping to upgrade it. And I actually did. Here's my current copy. And you can see a much better patch, a nice 4-color patch. So that's the one on my copy. And this is why I say I'm going to contradict myself, because I was willing to add this to my collection where he's pictured in the Montreal Canadiens uniform, but that's a Colorado Avalanche patch. And I made the decision basically with my 0506 Cup tribute cards, or, tributes to 0506, that I'm going to let a couple of these, inconsistencies make their way through into my collection. So there we go. That's what happened there. Next up, we've got this card. This card is absolutely amazing, you guys. Check this out. This might be the card of the week that sold on eBay. It's a 2010 limited logos Wayne Gretzky, but look at that patch. Sells for $12,400 US. I don't want to say it blew my mind. It sold for that much, but because look at that patch, and the autograph is still in stunning form. Look how bright blue that thing is. Just beautiful. I'm in a chat group on Instagram with some hockey collectors, and one of the guys in there, we were talking about, he goes, guys, that was me. So I know who bought the card. I want to congratulate him. I'm not going to say who he is unless he wants to make it public, but very happy for him. An amazing card. Probably one of the nicest Wayne Gretzky limited logos that we've ever seen. So congrats to him, and just look at that beauty, you guys. And finally, the last card, another Gretzky. This one sold last night. MC Sports Cards. I was doing my MC Mondays live show with Michael Hathaway from MC Sports Cards. I was watching this card all week. These are among my favorites. The Cup base patch auto variations. I wanted it really bad, you guys. And it started low. The thing was around $1,000 for many days. But of course, we know what happens at the end. It just shot up in the final few moments of the auction. And it ends up selling for, 4,500 Canadian or 3,250 US. And I just couldn't bring myself to spend that kind of money right now. I just don't have it available. So I sat on the sidelines, watched it sell. And if you were watching my live stream last night where we covered the MC Mondays, you could see I was struggling. I was so sad that I couldn't buy this card. I love it. It's out of 8. Great autograph. Look at the auto. And just a great Rangers Gretzky piece. So I wasn't able to pick that one up. But guys, that's the last card. That was the watch list for the last week. We'll be doing another episode of this next Tuesday. This is episode 6 of these eBay watch list videos. Let me know if you're enjoying them down below. Any comments you have on the card, anything you'd like me to do to make these videos even better, I will try to. But keep in mind, I don't do any editing. I'm not going to add any effects or anything like that. But I hope you enjoy this, guys. And with that, do make sure you check out the other videos on Sports Cards Live. Also check out the new podcast, Vintage Spotlight, with me and Leighton Sheldon. Guys, have a great rest of your week. We will be back with this next Tuesday.